Hey guys, today is May the 8th of 2021 and I wanted to go over a few markets. I'm calling this video market recap. Uh, Pretty much non-GAN stuff, just my charts that I use on Thinkorswim, which I call Simple Glance. The left is weekly and the right is daily. So let's get into it. As you can see on the ES futures, I had a forecast day of the 28th and 29th. Of a possible turning point, and it looked promising. The fourth, we got a big selling pressure building up, but then on the Wednesday, the 5th, they bought it back up. Friday, it turned positive. Thursday, and then Friday, they exploded and took out the high of 42.11. So that makes this forecast a void and a dud. Didn't pan out, even though everything of this key stuff I was looking at was all piling up, but it didn't pan out. So ES is going to do its own thing. It looks like it's going to trend higher into May. There's a saying, sell in May and go away. We'll see, but so far it wasn't the 29th. I'll look into the future and see what other possible turning points we could get into, but so far everything looks good. Looking at the Dow Jones, you can see that it looks good, strong. I guess one of the strongest. Very positive, all above moving averages. This is a ADX. There's a electrician that I follow on YouTube, and he swears by the ADX. I think this is all he uses. So I'm kind of back testing it with my signals just to see how good it is compared to what I use. So that's why you see ADX here. Normally I use the MacDaddy and volume, and then all the other stuff on the charts on the top. But I had the ADX just to see if there's any edge I could get out of it. But he swears by it, so I wanted to back test it. So the Dow Jones looks great. Nothing negative there. The NASDAQ is a little different. As you can see that it's just chopping around. The last high was last week. This week we couldn't close higher. The tech industry is struggling a little bit. As you can see on the daily, it's just chopping around. We have closed probably close to the value area low. Linear regression is pointing down, but short term above the cloud, below the 20 now. I think the 50 is below somewhere. So it's still bullish, but just chopping around, going sideways. Looking at the Russell, you can see that it's going sideways too. Looking on the weekly, the point of control is 2253, and that's where it's battling out with the value area high up here, 2325. Above the cloud, you can see that the 50 and the 20 are just kind of going sideways. Just not really trending higher, no going lower, just pretty much sideways action. So it's just pretty much chop fest, great for scalping. But other than that, that's what the market is giving you on the Russell. And we could go to gold. I'm working on a video for gold. As you can see on the short term, or time frame is bullish, forecasting. The cloud is telling you, things are looking positive, and you can see that it's reflecting price action. We broke out of the cloud, which is a good thing because it could get a little bit less volatile. But on the weekly, we are in the cloud. But you can see the volume in the last Thursday and Friday, very good, very positive, very strong. We broke above here, which is at 1817 with strength. A linear regression channel is pointing up, so it's confirming the bullish sentiment. The 200 SMA is up here, 1857. That's probably going to be my target if we continue going higher, and then see what happens if we just pause, go sideways. But that's the target. Also, the top linear regression. You can see that on the weekly, we already kissed it, the 50 SMA. So that was a good target already. And the point of control is the 1849, pretty much 1850. You can see on the weekly, it was looking very bearish, and now this is going up. So maybe things are changing. You can see the Mac Daddy gave a good positive, even though it kind of did a fake out here. PPS then confirmed it. Mobo turned green. The Kalashis were all positive. White candles trending higher. So everything was green light. You can see the volume came in strong this week to the upside on the weekly. You can see these 3 days right here. We're looking really good. CCJ, Cameco, they reported their earnings numbers yesterday. I heard the conference call was pretty good. Very promising. A lot they were talking about. And you can see that we hit 2025 on the high. We broke out of that rut of 1971. I remember the square of 144. There was a big level right there. Now the key is to hold 1971 and not dip below it. So Monday is going to look good. It's going to look interesting. But so far, everything is good. On the weekly, we got a little weak here. Now it turned positive. So everything is looking strong and good. Look at that buy signal right here on Friday or this week. Everything is looking good as long as we can stay above 1971. That is your number. If we close, and this was just your, hush and puff, and we close below 1971, you guys seen my last videos. This was a key date where things kind of just dwindle lower, I guess, price patterns or seasonality, and it just kind of dwindles lower from here. But if it stays strong and it stays above 1971, things are good. If you're nervous or whatever, you're not long term, and this is just a scalp play or whatever, just tighten up your stop. If it's going to start dwindling lower and getting weak, if it was a fake out or whatnot. But if you're long term like I am, then if it turns down lower, then if you're in it at lower prices, it's going to be more of a buying opportunity to load up the truck. Next market I wanted to cover is Yamana Gold. I've been in this one since $4.50, $4.50, and you can see that we're in the cloud, very choppy. Same thing like gold. You can see that it was a little bearish here. Short term, very bullish. Linear regressions channels are pointing up. We broke through this. We broke through the cloud, one. We broke through the strong level, which is 507. We hit 513. We're hovering around there. And I still have the same kind of forecast with it. Linear regression channel top, maybe could stall a little bit. If it's really strong, then 1537 is your target. So 200 simple moving average up there. That's what they could probably be heading up to there. In the cloud, the 1536 is the 50. So you got the 50 on the weekly, you got the 200 on the daily, you got the linear regression channel on the top. It's going to be a little less volatile on the short term, but in the mid time frame, it's still going to get volatile because you are in the cloud on the weekly. So don't think this is easy kick up going higher. It's going to be volatile. And if it blows through 534, your value area high right here is at 555. And you can see that right here. This is resistance. From the cloud, it's confirming it with the value area high, where things get really, stagnant, even though you can see that it just blew right through it here. But this is where this could be a level you want to keep an eye on. So I'm still bullish Yamana Gold, and let's see what price action takes us. DNN, Denison Mining. Somebody requested this. So here you go. On the short term, you're below the cloud. So short term, a little weak. On mid time frame, you can see that you're above the cloud. So that's bullish. Linear regression is pointing higher. This is still kind of sideways, but kind of pointing higher. You're above the value area high, which is $1.16. You close at $1.19 Friday or somewhere around there. So as long as you could get above 121, that will be good because then you're getting out of the choppiness that's going back and forth here. Yeah, everything and it's looking good now. Positive. The future here is positive. Looks like we're probably about to get a buy signal next week if it continues going higher. But you're above all on the weekly, above the moving averages, and on the daily, the 20 hopefully will cross over the 50, and you could close maybe next week above 121. Then it's going to look really good. You see right here, this is going to be a little challenging. 133. So you want to keep an eye on that. Once you get, which kind of confirms, you see the value area high right here. And the high is $1.81. Interesting. Sometimes when you see that number 181, look at it in degrees. 180. Pretty much at 180 degree, which is a half point of a circle, it's stalled. So I'll give you a little tip right there. Sometimes look at price in degrees. You can see sometimes why things stop where they stop. URA might be my last one. URA I have also, and it's strong as a bull. Cloud is all positive. Look at that. Everything is looking up. It's been strong. The 9th candle right here, we had a buy signal. So this, the Tom DeMark candle numbering system worked out. The low was here in the 8th. And then the 9th, things changed. Kind of went sideways. An explosion. PPS buy signal. Mac Daddy gave it, Mac Daddy, Tom DeMark came in first. So he gets the first trophy. Then Mac Daddy gets a second. Then Hekanashi and the trend indicator, and then PPS. So everything just kind of went and flowing. Hit the 9th candle here. We explored even higher. We probably hit the linear regression channel right there. So let's see what happens there. But there's no moving averages up there. So it's all pretty much price discovery right now. I think I covered everything I wanted to cover. Oh, crude oil. Someone mentioned crude oil to me. Crude oil is interesting. Value area high, we hit it up here at 67. We kind of dipped in and hit it again, close to it. And hopefully it's not a failed new high, but we had a weakness sell here, kicked in, hasn't turned positive yet. Let's see how next week goes. Last 2 weeks were very strong. Volume is kind of just flat. And these last 3 days, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, were very weak. Volume was to the downside. So 66, 76. Value area high 65. We closed below it. So let's see. It's kind of just going sideways, but still strong. Let's see what next week holds. As long as we can stay above the cloud, the 20, linear regression is pointing up. We could probably get a dip and maybe some bottom feeders. Buying the dip will probably show up and push it even higher. So let's see how this week comes up, how we price action works out. I'm going to sign out. Hopefully you like this recap video. I think I just probably do this when on certain markets that I find interesting, and I want to just kind of share my thoughts. And let's see what next week holds. But so far the markets are going up. Uranium sector very strong. I haven't looked at the uranium spot, so I don't know where that's at. Gold had a nice little breakout. As long as we can stay above those key levels I mentioned. My Yamana's doing good. And let's see what happens. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you guys next week.